Former Massachusetts Governor Deval Patrick is with us, and we are very excited to announce that Governor Patrick is our newest CBS News political contributor. We're so happy about that. He's going to provide his insights to us throughout this 2020 election. There's going to be a lot to discuss from now until November.
Indeed.
But let's start with this debate last night. We just heard what the students were saying about who stood out. Anybody stand out to you?
I think they all had their moments.
They all had good
which
moments.
has been true, I think, of all of the debates. I thought the openings were particularly strong. I think in every case offered a vision of unity and how important it is that the country come back together after the election, which is, you know, almost inherently and inevitably divisive. But we've had, you know, a term of division.
Though. Unanimous groans for Julian Castro after he made the comment where he seemed to be taking a stab at Joe Biden's age.
I groaned alone
You
in my hotel room.
Why did you
Because it was unnecessary. It was unnecessary. You know, there are differences in how the candidates view their policy choices and their policy proposals, and that is all fair game. But it doesn't have to be trivialized.
How do you attack without making it personal, though? You're trying to stand out. You're trying to make a moment. How do you do that?
The way we do in regular conversation with people we respect. You have conversation, I do all the time. We all do with people who don't agree with us. And I think what we have to do is project a politics that says we don't have to agree on everything before we work together on anything.
The vice president got mixed reviews last night. How do you think he did? I
think he started really strong. It felt over time, and I've felt this before about a vice president, about Joe Biden, whom I really admire and like personally, that he sometimes takes umbrage at being asked questions, at being challenged, that he has such a long record. It's kind of obvious where he stands on a given policy issue. And I think that there's some sort of practice he has to get back into of just relaxing when he's challenged, because that's part of it.
The last time you were at the table with us, you said the Democrats should not talk about President Trump all the time, but we had Amy Klobuchar and we had Kamala Harris in their opening statements go right at the president. What did you think of that?
Well, look, we are campaigning against Donald Trump, so I get that. My point was, and still is, that he can't be the sole reason that candidates are in the race, and can't be the sole reason and objective of the Democratic Party to unseat him. We have to be talking about what comes after a successful Democratic campaign. What is our vision for how we serve not just the people who voted for Democrats, but for everybody?
Go ahead. You go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, is that something Medicare for all, which may be overreaching for some voters, but maybe not? Is the Democratic Party too progressive if it forces people to accept a government health care option? Well,
look, I think Medicare for all has become a kind of a slogan for a lot of different versions of how we extend health care to everyone. I think the central point is that everybody on that stage, and the Democrats in general, believe that everyone should have access to affordable, high-quality care, and the other side does not. Personally, I think having a private health insurance industry is important to have alongside government-supplied health care, because, not frankly because I care about the insurance industry, but because that the innovation that comes from the private sector can be beneficial for how we think about improving government services.
I thought a recent CBS News poll was very interesting. It found former Vice President Biden is considered the most presidential, but Senator Warren is considered the most knowledgeable. Which quality do you think is the most important in 2020? And you can't say both.
Yeah, I know. It's I'm gonna say both. You know, look, I think that the president I want and is like the president I think most Americans want, which is someone who is not going to spend their day every day trying to figure out how to divide us, but instead how to bring us together. And it has turned out, I think, that if you look closely, there are common feelings of economic anxiety, social anxiety, even in these statistically prosperous time, that are shared across all kinds of communities in all kinds of places, and ways in which people who feel left out and left back that sentiment is shared very broadly. So I'm looking for someone who is interested in policy, but is above all interested in leading us back to back to
Well, there were at
a
least
common
10
destiny.
candidates last night that will say, that's me.
Yeah, that's me. Now that you're part of the CBS family,
part
we'll
of
have
it.
you back after the next debate. You can tell us if anyone emerges
you.
as that person. Governor
you.
Patrick, thank you very much.
Good to be with you.